Welcome to Grounded Catholicism, where Cass goes around to different coffee shops and talks about the faith. And today you might hear some background noise, and that's because we're outside and there's a lot of traffic, so sorry about that. Don't worry, I won't get hit by a car. I'll be safe, I hope. But anyway, so last week we talked about the Sacraments, and this week we're going to talk about how they apply to our lives. And so I'm going to start out talking about half marathons, and the connection will come eventually. But half marathons are hard, especially if you don't train for them and you're not a runner. And I might be speaking from experience on this one. So here's kind of how race day goes. You're lined up at the start line, or like way far back, because you know you're going to have a super slow pace. And you start running, you know? You're feeling good for like the first 2 miles. And then you're kind of like, oh, this isn't going to go so well. And then about the rest of the time, especially from like 6 miles on, every step becomes one of the most painful experiences of your life. And then when you can move a couple of days later, you think, wow, I kind of really missed an opportunity to like prepare and make that a way better experience. And what I like to point out is I think sometimes we think about Lent this way, because all of a sudden we show up on Ash Wednesday and we think, no, it happened again. Lent snuck up again, and I don't know what to do. And so how can we better prepare for that? How can we be intentional about it? Well, enter the sacraments. And so 2 things I want to suggest. Number 1, go to Mass and receive the Eucharist. Because what is the Eucharist? It's the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ. And number 1, that's just awesome. Let's pause on that. Yeah, that's awesome. And then number 2, it gives us nourishment for our pilgrimage on earth to like become in greater union with Christ. And so receive that nourishment, be in that communion with Him. And when you go to Mass, say like, Lord, how do you want me to grow with you during this time in Lent? And ask for the grace to have a really awesome Lent. And then secondly, confession. What is confession? Well, we know we're forgiven of our sins, but we also receive grace to to fight in the struggle of sin, to sin no more. But there's also something really cool about it, is that it makes present Christ's call to conversion. Confession always has to be attached to this conversion moment where we turn away from sin and towards Christ, and that kind of sounds familiar with Lent, right? And so get that grace to start that conversion, that interior conversion, because without it, the exterior practices we have during Lent won't really be fruitful at all. They'll be very sterile. So go to Mass and try and go more than you usually do. You know, you go on Sundays and then go another time, go to confession, and then be in this place where you're ready to enter into the Lord's passion and death in preparation for Easter. And that's all we have time for. If you want to hear me lament more about my half marathon experience, I'll be happy to do so. But until next time, thanks for tuning in.